Hey there. So, real quick, before I start, this is not a review of Cyberpunk 2077. I just got the game for an incredible discounted price, and I wanted to give my initial thoughts on the game while it's still kind of relatively new, and all the controversy around the bugs and the patches are still kind of prevalent. It's going to be a while before I have a complete review of this game. I still have all the Resident Evil content that I'm working on. I have a initial review thought process of the PlayStation 5 system itself. I have a couple of other things coming down the pipeline. So it's going to be a while before I have a review of Cyberpunk 2077. But I've played it for a couple of hours. I have a couple of thoughts. This is not a review. I will be doing a review. That being said, I want to get a couple of these thoughts out there. My thoughts about the game that I've experienced, my thoughts of it running on the PS5, my thoughts of the whole bug crashes fiasco, and, even the lawsuits. So, that being said, I'm going to get into it now.
Would you rather live in peace as Mr. Nobody, or go down for all times in a blaze of glory?
You'll never fade away.
Okay, so, quick horror history lesson for those of you who don't know. Cyberpunk 2077 was first announced back in 2012, 2013, around that time. And a lot of people just lost their minds over it. It looked amazing. It's based off of the RPG board game Cyberpunk 2020 that was invented back, I think, in 96. Don't quote me on any of these dates, by the way. I'm using my best memory to try to get all this out. But based on that board game, and everyone lost their minds over the 2012-2013 trailer, and it was very clear that it wasn't coming out anytime soon, with the end of the trailer saying, coming when it's done. You get it when it's done. It's going to be a while. Plus, The Witcher 3, same company making that game, that was due to come out next. So, it wasn't going to come out until after The Witcher 3. By that point, Witcher 3 wouldn't come out for another 2 years. But since this has come out, a lot of people have criticized the game. Why did it even bother coming out on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One? How dare they try and bring it out on those systems? There was no reason why it needed to be on those systems. It should have been next gen only. They should have never planned for it. And I think those people are kind of not really thinking this out. They're kind of not really using logic. Because back in 2012 and 2013, no one would have claimed that the developers of Cyberpunk 2077 were looking at not a next-gen release, but a next-gen release. That was never the plan. They were never going to do that. It was always planned for a next-gen release. PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Alright? I think it would have been wrong if they didn't release it on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now, understandably, those systems, people have been saying it's unplayable. Terrible bugs, terrible crashes, and by the way, I'm using, for example, IGN footage. Alright? I highly recommend you see the IGN video. I am not claiming this video to be mine. I'm absolutely giving them full copyright acknowledgement. This is their content. I'm simply borrowing it in terms of this video as an example. Go check it out. I'll leave the link in the description below, and also I'm putting up that it's IGN captured footage. Alright, they had the best coverage of the bugs and glitches from the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 version. I don't have those versions to really play right now, so I had to borrow it from them. So, disclaimer. But, as you can see from the footage, it looks terrible on those versions. And CD Projekt Red, the company that made this, are working on making those work on those systems. And to that, I say, good. And I trust that they're going to get the job done, because a lot of you are forgetting The Witcher 3 when it first came out, okay? It was a buggy mess. I mean, the memes for The Witcher 3 bugs were commonplace now. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've come across a horse up in the air. It's like, okay, yeah, no, that's Witcher 3 right there. Now, today, 2021, Witcher 3 is considered one of the greatest RPGs of all time. And it's also technically flawless at this point because they've fixed it. And newsflash, they're going to fix this game. Cyberpunk 2077, okay? They're going to fix it, alright? They want this to go down as a much beloved game that's going to be lasting with us for generations, like The Witcher 3, like The Witcher 2, like a whole bunch of their other content. And I'm sorry, but they put way too much work into this. They claim they started working on it in 2016. They started working on it to 2012. Okay, when you start drawing concept art, that's when you start working on the game. Okay, they made the trailer. I say they've been working on it since 2012. So, they've been working on it since 2012. They're not going to let this go down the drain and be known as a terrible crap piece of game. So, they're going to try and No Man's Sky the hell out of this. And they'll probably succeed because they got a lot writing on this. Not to mention the fact that they got a whole bunch of DLC planned, and they got a next-gen update plan for this game. So, on PC, it's doing pretty well review-wise. It does have bugs, it does have the glitches, but a lot of people are saying that the PC version, it's playable. It's good. It's not frustrating. People are enjoying it on the PC after the initial patches, of course. And on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, the current next-gen consoles, they're running much better than the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One versions. And my time playing it on the PlayStation 5 has been pretty good, admittedly. Now, I'm playing on the 1.6 patch, okay? I have not gotten the newest patch yet. That's the version I'm playing on, and in all honesty, not terrible in terms of bugs. I have come across a couple of bugs, like a guy talking a cell phone, and the cell phone is like a foot in front of his face. You know, that was one bug I saw. Another one was a floating can as I walked down the street. But yeah, keep in mind that from my experience, these two instances were like 3 hours apart. So, the biggest issue was the options menu bug, which if you go in the options, you can't get out of it. The options menu, you can't get out of it. And then every couple of hours, if I play this for more than 2 hours, the game will just crash. This is one of the most common problems. If you play in short bursts, it won't crash. If you play for a long period of time, it will eventually just crash because it's been going for too long. This is one of the big problems that CD Projekt Red is currently trying to fix. And so, yes, I've encountered bugs, but at the same time, I'm genuinely impressed with what they've done with the game. I really am. The voice acting is pretty solid. The writing so far is pretty good. I absolutely loved the initial heist mission. Okay, the opening to where it gets to the title is like almost 3 hours playtime. You could probably speedrun that, but I was taking my time. It took me 3 hours to get to the title to be posted. But that initial heist mission was a lot of fun. I like kind of the upgrade system where you can slowly upgrade your body. Now, my biggest concern, I have not determined this yet, is that I'm concerned it's going to be a lot like Deus Ex. Now, Deus Ex is a really great game, but my concern is that it's going to be like Deus Ex where you can only have a couple of things on at once, and the biggest issue of Deus Ex is that terrible energy meter where you basically you can have the most amazing tactical abilities you could think of, and you can only use them for like 10 seconds before they turn off because you used up all of your energy in the energy meal. I'm really hoping I don't experience that with Cyberpunk 2077. I'd like to think they're not going to do that, but I haven't gone far enough to see if they do that. The city is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've played games where you get to the city and it's like 3 city blocks wide, and that's it. That's the capital city of the game you're playing, and it just kind of takes you out of the experience when you get to the city and city's so small. Night City, the official city in this game, is dense. I mean, it's huge. It's enormous. I mean, I'm looking at the map and I zoom out and I zoom out, and it's a massive city. It's like 20 to 30 city blocks wide, and plus there's a whole area outside of the city that's like kind of a desert area, and I haven't gone to the south part of the city yet. I've kind of just been in one neighborhood, and that one neighborhood is insanely dense. So yeah, the whole time I've had with this game has been pretty positive. And if you're thinking about, I'm going to wait till it gets better, I would recommend probably getting this now. I got it for $30. Brand new. It was like a special edition case. That's unfortunately how bad the publicity on this game has been. And I think this is worth getting right now because it's going to get better. Alright, now if you only have a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, I understand that you're not going to have a good time with it right now. But that being said, they are working around the clock to update this so that it will work on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So even though you can't really enjoy it right now, I believe it is a good decision to try and get this right now if you're interested in this game. Obviously, if you have an Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5, you're going to really be able to enjoy it right now because you're getting 60 frames per second for the most part. And a lot of the bugs don't happen because the stuff's getting loaded better. So ultimately, those are my initial impressions of Cyberpunk 2077. Do I have criticisms? Yes. I think it's a little unnecessary to be able to customize my junk so much in this game. Maybe it'll affect the course of the game. I don't think it will. And so I just think it's kind of an odd decision to have put so much work into being able to customize what's between my legs. I mean, they spent a surprisingly amount of time working on that. Maybe if they spent a little bit more time working on the bugs, they wouldn't be in the problem they're in right now. So, but that being said, overall, I've been really enjoying my time with the game. Voice acting is really impressive, and I even love the dialogue tree. I haven't even gotten started on that, but I can save all this for my review. This is just my initial thoughts and impressions, and so if you were thinking about getting this, now might be a good time because it is dropping in price. I've seen it around $30 now at Best Buy, Target, and I haven't seen it $30 at Walmart yet, but I have seen it drop to $30 at Target and Best Buy. So right now, probably a good time to get it if you are interested in this game. My name's Chris. This is 11th Hour Reviews, and that is all.